The Amaran Ace 25C is a $100 light with 32 watts of power, and it's a tiny little camera. At this point, you guys are probably pretty familiar with this, or you've seen other channels posting about it and going through the whole specs of it. Now, I'm a gear nerd like everybody else, but everything that I buy now has to have a purpose in my business. It has to make me money or make my job easier, which in turn makes me more money. These are not an exception. What I originally bought these for was for little hair lights or kicker lights for podcast sets and things like that, when I don't want to use my tube lights, which are over here. They're big, they're a little cumbersome. These are awesome just to travel with, throw in a bag and have pops of color behind people, and that's what I've been using them for. But I want to see if I can use one of these lights as a key light and still get usable results that I could use on client work. The purpose of videos like this is to see if this is a worthwhile tool for you as a videographer in your business and if you can use it on client work. So I'm going to run it through two different scenarios. One is going to be at this sitting talking head thing, and I'm going to go to a podcast set and kind of set up like I would if I was doing a client social media shoot. So right now, lighting the scene, I have two nanlite tubes and a Aputure 600D in a gridded softbox about 4 feet away from me. So now I'm going to set up and see if I can use one of these lights to get a similar or a decent result. I do already know that this by itself is going to be too harsh and I'm not going to like it even with this, but I'm going to take this off because this takes away quite a bit of the output of light. And what I did is I'm going to put it in an umbrella and see how well it does. I did have to buy a little umbrella mount on Amazon, but I lost it. So, fuck me. Of course I lose it when I want to make a video. So I kind of jerry rig something. It'll be the same thing. So I'm going to set that up and we'll switch over to that right now. So right now I have it on the full power with a boost turned on and an umbrella that's maybe, I can just touch it right here. And honestly, this looks great. I have no issues with this. Now, obviously, if you have lights that you're trying to battle and things like that, it's definitely not going to work. But honestly, this is for such a small light, and especially because you can plug it into USB-C and charge it with a power bank. I honestly am quite surprised at how good this looks. So now I'm going to go into one of my podcast sets and kind of set up like a content shoot that I would do for clients to see how it will do. But I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to look great. So let's go kick it over there and see how it looks. Okay, so you can kind of see my janky setup where I had to use just kind of letting the umbrella sit in this, have a separate stand with the light kind of shooting right into it. And now we're sitting here like how I would set up for like a quick client shoot. Honestly, this looks good. I have no issues with that. I threw the other one I had behind me on the floor just for that blue accent light. But other than that, I have all the room lights turned off, and it's just the Amaran 25C and this umbrella right here. I can touch it. It's probably even in frame a little bit. But for how easy this was to set up, especially if I just get it on one stand, I would have no problems bringing this on a client shoot if I knew we were just trying to rip some really quick social media content and maybe even some YouTube stuff. Now, is this the type of light that you're going to bring to a really important video asset or a bigger project where maybe it's going to stick around in the client's business for longer? Probably not. You probably want something a little more powerful so you have more control and more options, especially if you have any kind of backlighting in less than ideal situations. But even so, this should be something that you throw in your bag for a fill light, a color kicker light. It's a really useful tool for $100. I think it's a really useful tool for you and your business. And like I said, this channel is all about growing your video business and scaling it, finding clients, and buying gear smartly. So if you enjoyed this video, if you have any questions about running a video business, or if you want to see me review something else in a business context, let me know, whether that be a camera, a lens, a light, software. That's something I'm diving into pretty soon, is how to run your business on the software side of things. So let me know in the comments what you think and what you want to see, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.